Geneva, Switzerland, the year is 2026. Two nations at the table, trying to rewrite what history built. Diplomats in suits, mediators in the hall. Pakistan and Qatar holding up the wall. And somewhere on a phone a voice cuts through it all. The Swiss air was cold, the hotel lights were low. Iranian delegates rehearsing what they know. Years of pressure, years of sanctions, years of holding on. They came to talk about the strait and keep the deal alive. They came with files and frameworks, came with hope to survive. They sat across from empty chairs and waited for the call. But back in Washington, a different move was brewing. A president on Fox News live, and things were going sideways fast. He grabbed the phone, he grabbed the mic, he grabbed the moment for himself. He said, "You close that strait, you won't have a country left." In the room in Switzerland, it stopped. Every diplomat looked up. Every translator froze mid-word. Every mediator swallowed hard. Because the words came through the feed. You won't even make it back to your fucking country.
This is how diplomacy dies. Now with silence with a headline that flies. A phone call turned into a war cry. And the delegation looked each other in the eye. You won't make it back, that's what he said. You won't make it home, let that sink in your head. We came to talk, we came in peace. But some men speaking threats, not release. Iran's heroes stood, they pushed their chairs back slow. They picked their briefcases up. They had nowhere left to go. Not because they're weak, don't you get that wrong. They walked because their dignity had carried them this long.
The head of delegation stood. He didn't raise his voice, he didn't need to. He said, "We did not fly across the world to be spoken to like this." He said, "We represent a nation, not a threat list." And one by one they rose, the chairs scraped back across the marble floor. The Pakistani mediator rushed in from the corridor. The Tory envoy reached out, "Please, please, not yet, not now." But the signal had been sent, the words were already everywhere. Already trending on 100 feeds, already painting Iran as the enemy again. Back home, the crowds in Tehran were watching. Every grandmother, every student, every father in a factory. They saw their people walk, they saw their heads held high. And for one moment, just one, the sanctions didn't matter. The inflation didn't matter, the tire years didn't matter. Because their delegation walked with pride.
This is how diplomacy dies. Not with silence, with a headline that flies. A phone call turned into a war cry. And the delegation looked each other in the eye. You won't make it back, that's what he said. You won't make it home, let that sink in your head. We came to talk, we came in peace. But some men speaking threats, not released. Iran's heroes stood, they pushed their chairs back slow. They picked their briefcases up. They had nowhere left to go. Not because of the between. Don't you get that wrong. They walked because their dignity had carried them this long.
Now let's slow it down. Let's actually feel this. 20% of the world's oil moves through that strait. That's not just politics, that's tankers, that's fuel prices. That's a family in Germany paying more to heat their house. That's a port worker in Japan watching cargo pile up. The Strait of Hormuz isn't just geography, it's the nerve of the global economy. And two nations both carrying scars, both carrying weight. Sat down in Switzerland to maybe find a gate. But a phone call from a penthouse in America blew the curtains off the window and reminded everyone in that room that pressure is the only language some people know. Let's be honest, this isn't new. Maximum pressure was the policy before the Soleimani strike. The sanctions, the threats of more. It's a playbook written in bold letters, push until they fold. And Iran's playbook, let's be honest too. Proxies in Lebanon, enrichment creeping up the strait is leverage. The ultimate trump card, neither side is innocent, both sides carry scars. But there's a difference between posturing and a table. There's a difference between pressure and a threat. When you tell diplomats they won't make it home alive, you're not negotiating anymore. You're drawing a line with fire.
And
mediators were still in the halls. The Qataris were still making calls. There were whispers of encouraging progress somewhere on enrichment levels, on timelines, on the nuclear files. But the headline was already out, the clip was already cut. You won't make it back. 4 words, that's all it took. This is how diplomacy shakes, under spotlights and microphones and political stakes. A phone call turned into a war cry, and the delegation looked each other in the eye. You won't make it back, that's what he said. You won't make it home. Let that sink in your head. We came to talk, we came in peace. For some men speaking threats, not release. Not release. Heroes stood, they pushed their chairs back slow. They picked their briefcases up. They had nowhere left to go. Not because they're weak, don't you get that wrong. They walked because their dignity had carried them this long. The talks didn't fully collapse. Mediators kept the thread alive. There was movement somewhere behind closed doors. The world needs this to work. The world can't afford the alternatives. But tonight, in Geneva, in that marble hall, an Iranian diplomat stood up straight and tall and walked out, not in anger, not in fear, but because some lines, even in diplomacy, must be clear. You can threaten our country, you can sanction our people, you can close every door, but you cannot sit across from us and tell us we won't make it home and expect us to stay seated and smile and sign.